1 minute. Inundated with, I put out some feelers for some information about 5 o'clock this morning, and I'm getting some feedback. So here's the deal. First of all, to the gay guy, I don't know which or who you are, but to the gay guy that decided that I didn't show enough skin in yesterday's update and that I should put on a Speedo to show that my underbelt tire, or Scott called it FUBA, or flubber, or blubber, I should put on a Speedo to accommodate his wishes. So listen, dude, by that statement alone, I'm going to quantify you in the category of a closet gay man or a gay man, or just some sicko weirdo. For me to put on a Speedo at the weight I am and the size I am, that is a very sick request. So you are persona non grata on my channel. I haven't blocked you, but if I see another comment from you, I'll remember to block you. Me putting on a Speedo to accommodate your wishes to show that I lost the weight, that is some sort of mental derangement inside your head. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Second thing I want to talk about is the keto diet. And I'm in here because I just did some things outside. I've been outside since 6 o'clock this morning. I've already done more work today, that maintenance work, and put things away than most people are going to do all week. Although you hear the creep, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't. Dude, it's coming down on you, and it's going to come down hard on you for all the lies you posted on YouTube. But digressing back to the keto diet, and then we'll go back to the creeps of YouTube just for a moment. I'm not going to let that interfere with my day much longer. The keto diet, on day 30, I was under 600 calories every day. And I actually think on day 31, I stayed underneath 800 calories. But I did go to the fiesta, and I did have a little less than a half a cup of rice, because it's my landlord. They actually treat me like a guest of honor, and rice is part of the Filipino traditional meal. So I took a nice healthy plate, and then I put some rice on it, about 2/3 of 1 cup of rice. And that was the only meal I ate yesterday. So I probably consumed, with that rice, I don't know, 900 calories, under 1,000. So I'm within my limit. Now today they had a 60-pound lechon, or a barbecued pig, yesterday. And I do have a video of that, but it only goes out to my personal friends. These people in where I live, they don't mind being on video if they walk by when I'm making a video, but to actually videotape them while they're sitting down eating or something like that, they're perfectly okay with me videotaping, but they would prefer not to have it in public on YouTube. So what I do is I take I load the video, and then I take down their information. And if they have a computer or a cell phone, I'll send them the link to the party, or the beginning of the party yesterday. I only did a 16-minute video on that. Now, today is the second day where they didn't, with the second day, what they do, now they had the lechon, they had a goat, they had broiled and charcoal broiled goat, and also fried goat, and they fry it up in a pan, or the pan is probably 30 inches in diameter, and they probably put a half a quart of oil in there, fry it up with some seasoning and stuff like that. The food was delicious, but again, you won't see any of that I would have if the live stream would have continued, but there's too much interference between my landlord's house and my internet. So that I did, and I also made another quick video this morning that I will post publicly of my landlord cooks with wood, and they have the old wooden hearth that they put the wood underneath the giant cast iron kettles. Now I took a snapshot of that, and I also made a 3-minute video of them cooking in the dirty kitchen, and then in the yard next door there were 2 other men working on 2 more projects with 2 more big pans like that, too big for the dirty kitchen stove. So that I can post. Those 2 men are okay with being on video. But so that was my keto diet. Now I do plan on going there for lunch. So this video live stream will only be about an hour and a half long. Now getting back to the creepy men of YouTube, the one that asked me to be in a Speedo, that's pretty sick, dude. And he made it like it was a request and it would help me prove that I lost the weight. Thank you, Philip. As long, you don't have to explain anything. As long as a person is trying, no one can put you down. No, I'm just explaining that I actually did go off the diet by having carbohydrates for the first time in 30 and 31 days. Thank you, Philip. Welcome, Philip. Yeah, that was quite the video I posted yesterday. The levity video with Dobie Gillison when he said work. That is, if that is not the infamous blogger on YouTube, if he doesn't have if he doesn't have a similar emotional discharge when somebody says you got to do some work, yeah, he's never done any work. He's never shown us any work, but he says he can do work, but he's always done work, but he's never shown as a photographer, as a videographer, as a blogger. He's never shown you a minute's work. So basically the man is a liar. But moving past that, we know that. Now let's talk about evidence gathering, because I am, in fact, gathering evidence for a case I'm going to present in the Philippines. And I am going to depose people over the internet. If that's required and allowed, I'm going to depose people. And I've also offered to be deposed. So let me explain to you the way evidence gathering for the plaintiff or the defendant works. Anybody at any time during what is called discovery can request information in any way they like. They can put out a public request, they can put out a video, they can send out letters, they can ask friends, they can go to websites, they can go to news articles. That's legal. So we hear this clown saying, mind your own business. Well, dude, you made it my business when you posted the video about me being the Mushroom Man. It is my business, and I am going to do everything. I've said this before, and I'm saying it again. I am going to do everything possible to make you pay a price if there is a price to pay. Legally, of course. Now, what you think, and that nonsense you posted on Flywood's channel the other day that you didn't make up the song, well, I've never heard anybody else sing it except you. And then you sang it every day for months, and then you sang it in the wrong place to the wrong person in a public venue. But then you claim there's no evidence. Oh, but there is evidence. There is evidence. There is quite a bit of evidence. You just don't know it. You just haven't gotten there yet, but there is a lot of evidence. There are many people on YouTube that saw the video. They saw the comments that went with the video about what you were talking about and how it related to me, aka the Mushroom Man, because you're the one who called me the Mushroom Man. You're the first person I ever saw do that. So it is, you own it. And I'll just go one step further. You own it. You're not going to get out of it. I'm not backing down. You could do whatever you think that you want to do. You can say whatever you want. If you think I'm afraid of you, you're completely mistaken. You're absolutely mistaken. And in fact, I'm going to go after you even harder now, because you denied that what the song was about, even though you said it in the song, and I have an original copy. So, and there are comments that go along with the song, and I mean, and with the upload, with the live stream you did. So you can't back out of this. You own it. Now, let's just go one step further. Let's say somebody else sang the song at some point in time, a year ago, 6 months ago. Those people didn't sing it in a public live stream where you sang it, to who you sang it, when you sang it, and where you sang it. Where you sang it. Remember what I say. Where you were when you sang it and to whom you sang it to. So if there was anybody else that ever sang the song, I don't know about it. And even if there was, they did not do what you did. And what you did, I believe, is wrong. Just like you said, it's wrong for me to mind your business. Well, dude, this is my business because you made up the Mushroom Man song about me. Because I let it go, I can't do anything about it. I'm not going to argue with everybody about whether you call me the Mushroom Man and you want to discuss the size of my pee-pee with someone you shouldn't be describing it to, and you explained it. And that, let me tell you something. The authorities that listen to that video here in the Philippines, they are 100% convinced that that was not the first time that other person, the little person, heard that song. They are convinced 100% that that other person knew the song before the live stream, because the other person knew the words while you were singing it, and you were singing it as if it was the first time, but it wasn't the first time. You screwed yourself. You taught somebody that song that you should have never talked about that song with, and then you described what the mushroom was and who you were talking about, a blogger, and it can be easily proven that I'm the Mushroom Man. You have screenshots on your channel. You have videos. You own the song, dude. It's like I said, even if someone else ever sang that song, even if you didn't make it up, which I know you did, you're the only person I ever heard sing it. So it's got to be you. As far as I know, it's you. But even if you made up the song and somebody else sang it, did they sing it on a live stream with another person in the room where you shouldn't have been in that room with the other person? They didn't do that. They didn't do that. So they didn't do any of that. You just don't get it, dude. You screwed up in a public venue singing that Mushroom Man song, your Mushroom Man song, to somebody that you had no business. So now and the reason I bring this up today is because yesterday, I decided I'm going to start gathering information for my case. And lots of people have the original video with the comments and everything like that. You're screwed, dude. You're screwed. Now, if you work your way out of it, well, then you got off on another technicality. But as far as I'm concerned, last week on Flywood's live stream that you have to critique everybody, you said you don't know? You didn't know what the mushroom was? You lying piece of worthless blogging zero. You are the biggest zero on YouTube. You're infamous. You're a liar. You lied about your wife for 4 years, 5 years. You said you were married. You were never married. You lied about it day in and day out, week after week, month after month. All right, let's say 3 years. You lied about it for 3 years. swore that you were married in Malaysia, and you have proof. I knew you weren't married because when we went to court, I knew that the paperwork said you were single. So don't come by, and I didn't even post that information publicly. I could have, but that doesn't make a difference in my life whether you're married or not. It makes no difference to me. It wasn't something I was interested in, and I'm not really the gossip, tattletale rat that you are. I'm not like you. But being that you said you don't know what the Mushroom Man song means, and you don't know who made the song, and you blamed the song on me, I'm going after you 100% plus 100% plus 100%. I'm going to go in deeper and deeper and deeper, and I'm going to gather all the evidence I can legally, and then we're going to bring that into a public venue with the She Got Bling. That one's going in. The one where you said I walk around naked and give children candy, that one's going in. Now, none of these people care whether your face is in the video or not, but She Got Bling, you happen to be in the video for 56 plus minutes with your so-called wife. So don't worry about whether or not this is my business. You made it my business. And I'm going to make it my business to see that if there is justice that can go your way, it goes your way. Now, there is, I think this is a Scott Del Fuego comment. It is. There is an alpha male telling you people the ways of the world. He will always accomplish his goal. Maybe not, but he doesn't give up. No, there's nothing to give up on. You are a malicious, sadistic, lying, low-class, low-life, underbelly of the world type of sleazy, slimy snake. That's what you are. There are no other terminologies that can describe you better than you being the lowest class. And what I want to also express while I'm still talking about this, then we're going outside, is what I want to know what your mother and your father did to you to make you so screwed up in the head. I want to know what games they played with you to make you so screwed up in the head. Or was it another family member? Because I know people like you. And at the end of the day, they told me about what their Uncle Eddie, their father Bob did to them, their father and mother, Anita and Bob, did to them as children. Well, I want to know what did your mother and father did to you to make you so messed up in the head that you devote your entire life to screwing around other people in any way, shape, or form, and then you lie about what you said the day before and deny it. We want to know what happened to you as a child, and to who did what they did to you as a child, because there's no way in this world you could be so screwed up in the head that somebody didn't do something to you when you were a child that you're never going to get over, that you've never gotten over, that you can't move your head around. Was it in the knowledge of your mother and father? Did they know about it? Was it another family member, an uncle or a cousin or a neighbor or a neighbor's wife or a neighbor's husband? Tell us what happened to you that make you so screwed up in the head that you devoted your life to messing with people on the internet. Tell us what happened to you that screwed your world up so bad that you can't wake up without going on YouTube and try to destroy somebody else's life because you hate yourself. The self-hatred within you is so vast and so great that you don't have a life, dude. You went to the United States and you were gonna blog paradise, and you've never put out a video about paradise. One, and you took it down. You went to the United States to show everybody how you could work, how you could do physical work like myself, a real man like myself. You compared that miserable, slimy little skeleton of a man to a man like myself, a real man. And you were going to prove to the world what powers you had as far as work and work ethic. You have no work ethic. You have zero ability to work. You can't even comprehend the idea of waking up in the morning and actually going out on your own without someone pushing you to go perform a function that doesn't need to be performed. You perform the daily needs to get you through the day and nothing more, and it's been like that for 16 years. You've never contributed a damn thing to society. And you ask me what I contributed to society? I paid hundreds of people's bills for Christmas and New Year's and Easter and their kids' shoes and their food bills. I employed over 1,000 people over the course of 38 years. A little bit here, a little bit there. People learned how to do carpentry. They learned how to do plumbing. They learned how to tie knots on the barge. They learned how to operate a crane. 3 people I taught how to operate a crane that became good at it. They learned how to make cement. They learned how to lay block. They learned how to float cement. They learned how to stack lumber, how to route lumber, how to build decks. You have done nothing at all for society. And you claim that I haven't contributed to society. You could put everything that you've ever contributed to society in 1-inch block letters on a half a sheet of loose leaf paper from anything anybody can judge. And then you claim I never owned a barge. I never owned a crane. All documented on my channel. Never owned an ocean racer. Documented on my Hoodwinked by an Angel channel. Never owned a Cobra. Documented on my hood. You're a lying, sleazy, low-life piece of worthless YouTube material. Blogging material. Now we're going outside. Thanks, Scott. Okay, so now we're going outside. I have the machine running because... and the threats. Go ahead. Keep threatening me. Keep insinuating threats. Because that's what you do. If you think for a freaking second that I'm afraid of you in any way, shape, or form, that is going to be your downfall. Let something odd happen. Let something odd happen. And you'll see what the word resolve means. You'll find out when you test someone's mettle. Just let some oddball thing happen. And then you'll be testing my mettle. For all the threats, it's got to be you. And if it's not you, well, I'm going to hold you accountable in a court of law for anything that happens. You are one sleazy little man. You think you scare me? Do you think you scare me for a second? You got the wrong guy, dude. Okay, now, the machine is running because I had to do some maintenance on the machine that required it to warm up. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, it's 11 o'clock now. At 12 o'clock, I'm going to shut this video down. So I have an hour. I'm going to needle scale the inside of the cat. This is something that we'll just go back to the creep for one more minute. The creep has never woke up and said, I choose to go out and work hard. He's only done what he had to do. Every morning, every day that I'm alive, since I was a young man, every day I'm alive, I wake up and say, what can I do today to accomplish, work towards my goal? You've never done that. You're a minimalist worker. You're a you're a lousy worker. According to anybody that's ever known you, you're a slacker, a backsliding slacker, two-faced, lying, rat slacker. So every morning I wake up and I get up and I make a list of stuff that I can do today. Today, I realized that underneath the seat it was very rusty, and the seat does not have a fresh coat of paint on it to protect it from the sun. So we're going to correct that now. That might be the only thing you see. So I'm going to be needle scaling the rust. Yesterday the scale rust was coming off at close to 1/8 of an inch thick, where they're on the floor, where the water settles on the floor. Don't hold back, baby. Philip, you know damn well where I come from. We don't have to hold back. We got what it takes to follow up, let alone hold back. You and a few other people know that when I say something, There is not going to be a back down. You can't back me down. Better men than you have tried. Not Philip, but better men than that creepy little man. So the scale rust on the floor. The banker. The banker was my friend, so there was never an issue with the banker. But you know the surroundings. Those were my buddies. Those are the guys I built their houses. I put their kitchens in. I was a trusted member of the so-called community. Thank you, Philip. Okay, so I'm going to knock the scale rust off with the needle scaler, and then I'm going to blow it out with the blower. Now, I only did a small portion of it. It's going to require at least 2 hours of needle scaling. 1 hour now, and then 1 hour after lunch. And then from there, I wash it out with fresh water, I blow it dry, and then I'm going to just paint that. I'm going to paint the floor yellow with that isomeric paint. That's how we grew up. That's how we grew up. Philip, if you send me your phone number, if you care to, we can get into this a little deeper, but not on YouTube. It would not serve any purpose. All right, so thank you, Philip. I'm gonna go outside now, and I'm gonna shut off the machine because the work I did, the machine needed to just warm up, and it's warm now. And then this is what real men do. They choose to go ahead and do work. I could have just said, like you, I could have been like you, but who the hell in their right mind would want to be like you? I could have just said, I don't have to work. I have enough money to sit back for 25 years. But instead, I said, well, I'm going to build a hotel. It gives me something to do. And thank God I'm building a hotel. Thank God I have a project. Because no one else on YouTube, it seems, has a project. And all you do is blah, blah, blah all day about some worthless topic. None of you are achieving any goals. None of you. So I'll put this in here. Now the machine might shut off, not the backhoe, not the track hoe. The live stream might shut off when the compressor kicks on in the container. There's some kind of interference with the frequency of the 220 motor and the live stream frequency. It's probably, I think it's called the harmonics of the frequency. They align themselves incorrectly, or they cancel one another out, the harmonics. I could be wrong about what that word is, but okay. I'm going to go right over here around this grease cap. That's a grease cap for the turret. Okay, so I have the oil in the gun, and I'm going to put on my nice yellow shirt so I don't get any of that rust dust on me. Although I did hose it down last night and blow it out, but it makes a very fine dust, and I don't really need that dust on my body. Won't hurt it. It just, at the end of the day, I prefer to wash my shirt and be able to take everything clean off my body than I'd rather have the dust on my shirt. That's the point. Okay. Now, here we go. We're going to start right around that grease cap, like I said. I choose to work. I actually opt to work every day when I don't have to. But you piece of garbage, you've never chose an optional day's work in your life. In fact, when you worked for an organization, shall we say, there wasn't a single person in that organization that had any respect for you whatsoever. They all said you were a slacker. How do you like me now? Okay, you know what I got to do? I got to do one more thing that I didn't do yesterday, and I got to do it today. I'll be there momentarily. I'm back. I'm back already. I'm going to hit this with a hammer. Because some of this is really deep down. One second. Ugh. Look how big these pieces are coming off. This is a piece of rust. This is one piece of rust that just flaked off. A little less than 1/8 of an inch thick, but still coming off in giant chunks. Here's another piece. This is a piece of pure rust. That's 4 inches popped off the floor from the hammering. So the hammering works quite well. And then the needle scaler will finish up with the hammer don't pop off. Now I'm going to put this down and I'm going to try to get underneath the seat a little better. Now I know I'm not going to get it all. I know that. But I'm going to get as much as I can and then put a coat of that latex paint on there. Okay, and because the latex paint, the rust is rust, but the rust is also wet. And oil base won't stick to wet rust. Even though the sun is going to come out and dry it out, there's still going to be a little water underneath those nodules. So we're going to work with a water-based product. Going to try it, something new. Huh. Huh. Uh. Huh. 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 Oh. Oh. That's not good. That's much better now. It's not bad. Ha! Ha! Oh boy. Ha! Ha! Oh boy. This is more work than the creep has done in his entire life at one time without stopping. Because he has no work ethic. Notice when I work, I don't stop until the job is done or until I have something else that needs to get done. The creep, I bet you he doesn't work for more than 90 seconds at a time. Oh, in fact, we watched the video like that. Huh. Huh. Ha. 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 God. Uh-oh. 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 Well, that's pretty good. It's not as good as I would like it, but I don't have a sandblasting unit and 100 pounds of sand. So I'm going to go with what I got for now. To remove this seat is about an hour and a half. Take it off, put it back on. I don't know that I want to get involved with that right now. In fact, I know I don't want to get involved with that. Huh. Well, where the heck is the... Huh. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I'm going to hose it down. We're at the hour and 2 minute mark. I'll be out in a moment. I want to wet this down. Give it a few seconds to soak in. And then I'm going in the house to get some cold water. The sun is on my back here. Since I started, a little hot. Huh. Where did I put that? Yo! Where's my headgear? There it is. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the needle scaling for now. All I wanted to do was the deck. I don't care about the rest of the cat. Going in the house to get that water now. I'll be out in about 90 seconds, or 2 minutes. Okay. Oh. 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 All right. So here's what we got. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Huh. Huh. All right, well, that's all I'm going to do. Now, the next thing I'm going to have to do, and I'm going to paint over it for now, but the bottom tube of the chair is rusted out. It's not a hard fix, but the seat has to come off of that, and that takes an hour. An hour to take it off, and a half hour to put it back on. And I'm definitely not gonna do that today. So I'm okay with what we got. Plus, I'm using the latex paint on this, which should blend that right into the rust. It's got to be better than having 1/8 of an inch of scale rust on. There was a full solid 1/8 of an inch in some places, and a 16th to 3/32 in other places. Not that it matters, because it's 1/4 inch diamond plate, so it's got another 20 years of rusting at that rate. So I'm not real concerned about it going through the floor. Where I've had machines years ago where I've operated machines. I never owned one, but where the rust rusted right through the floor because they put mats down on the floor and it always stayed wet. If I had a hole in my floor, I would immediately go get a sheet of galvanized metal and put it on top of that and zap screw it, or self-tap screws into it with a bead of caulking around the outside. And you don't even have to need something that thick. A number 16 gauge hot dip galvanized piece of sheet metal will last 10 years. And that's what I did. I'm waiting for the dinner bell to ring. So then I'm going to shut this down. I won't be doing the rest of the cab today. I won't even probably do the rest of the cab for another, well, next time I have nothing to do. But this needed to be done because there was, at some point, when you get 1/8 inch rust on, even though it's 1/4 inch diamond plate, it's a percentage of the 1/4 inch diamond plate. And at that point, the water gets underneath the scale rust, or the shale rust. Here, this is what the shale rust looks like. This is actually a piece of diamond plate that had paint on this side. The water stayed under the paint and it made a piece of rust this big and this thick. So At this point, at that point, it's rusting exponentially faster than it would normally rust. If you had nothing on it, no paint, no mat down at all, you just left it exposed to the elements, it'll rust slower than that. But I think this elastic isomeric paint, I think that's going to seal this up because it's a water-based paint, and I'm going to make the floor wet, so it'll kind of like make it thinner where it meets the rust and maybe bond into it. And maybe I'm wrong, but I doubt it. I think it'll work better than oil-based, which will not adhere to the wet or dampness in the steel at all. In order to get the paint with an oil-based paint, you'd have to bring the metal down like they do with a car. You'd have to sand it down, dry it off, and then wipe it down with thinner to get all, and then put it in an oven to get the moisture out of the metal. I don't have any of those things here. I wouldn't use thinner for that, just a waste of money, and I wouldn't go so far as to try to fix that kind of a problem. I'd put that, if I had a problem with a hole in the floor, I'd just put some galvanized metal down and fix it in 2 hours rather than, I know people that would cut out the floor and put diamond plate in there and grind it all down. Yeah. That's big money. Big money shops do that. I'm a little guy. Guapo! When this water is really cold, when it comes out of the refrigerator, it doesn't taste so good. But about 10 minutes after it comes out of the refrigerator, it's just the right temperature to drink. It tastes much better. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm putting everything in the machine, and I'm going to, by that time, lunch will be ready. They said 12 o'clock, and they're pretty accurate when that comes to having food. The Filipinos like their meals on a regular basis, and in a way, that's nice because they stop at 12. They know they're going to stop at 12, but the interesting thing about that is when they're right in the middle of a job, when 12 o'clock comes, they just put it down. Even though there's only 2 more minutes to finish the job, very rarely will you see them finish the job and then start a new job after lunch. They'll come back from lunch and spend that extra few minutes, and that's interesting. I would always finish the job, even when I worked for the union. Even when I wasn't going to get overtime, I would still finish the job. If it just was a few minutes. All the tools are here, in here now, and they can stay here for an hour. Let me take this out. I gotta do a few things. I gotta wash off my face. Huh. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Huh. 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 Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. 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 Huh. All right, well, uh, that you take a look at what I accomplished the last 2 days. I took down that whole storage shed from 8 feet deep and 7 feet wide and 8 feet high. I took it all down, broke all the lumber down, took all the plywood and cleaned the plywood, and I also cleaned the 2x2s and 2x3s that made up the the storage area there. And that wood is all ready to be used again for one of my next projects, which will be moving the house. And that's going to start next week, or before. Well, next week is tomorrow. So we're very close. We're very close. Very close to moving the house. I cleared out, well, I have to clear out what's in the house to move the house a little bit. And we're very close to that. So the house is going to go this way towards that beige house over there. I'm going to move it 19 inches. That will allow me to put this container. I might have to move it 26 inches, but that will allow me to move this container into this slot here. And I have to cut the roof off my other house on the other side over there. There's 4 feet of roof on the house next door. That's going to get cut off. And then I'm going to slide the container back. And the front of the container, which is this, will be pretty much flush with that back fence over there. And then I have a footing over here that's half dug, and a footing in the back that's 3/4 of the way dug, if I remember correctly. And that's the last 2 footers. And then I'm going to start to get put the base down for the foundation bases and steel. And we'll be getting ready set up to put steel. Still haven't got a rebar bender yet, though. The rebar bender is the elusive rebar bender. The people that want to import the rebar bender into the Philippines, oh my God. The rebar benders themselves and the support equipment is about a little over $4,000. And the import fees, no one will give me a set price, but they'll give me a price between $3,000 and $3,600. But that's an open price. Could be more. So I immediately, at that point, once 3 people gave me the same price, either the prices are that price, or they all 3 know each other, and they sent out a mass mail what they should be charging me to bring that equipment into the Philippines. So from Lazada, I can buy 2 of the 4 pieces of equipment for $775 each. The import fees on a $775 machine, handheld rebar bender, handheld cutter, the import fees are $750 plus each. So the machine costs $775 and the import fees are $775. If I buy it from Lazada, it's $775 period, no import fees. And the same for the rebar bender. Now, I won't get the rebar bender that I want, but I won't be paying twice. And I won't be paying $1,500 for an import fee. That's the important thing. So I'm going to end this live stream. Thanks for watching. It's about 12 o'clock. I'm going to go have my lunch with my friends and my landlord. They're over there now. And even if it's not ready, I'll sit down and shoot the crap with them for a little bit. And that's it. Have a nice day. Oh, by the way, in another hour and 15 minutes from now, there's going to be yellow. It's going to be a painted yellow, or go to Hello Day in the afternoon. So thanks for watching, and this is Michael Fazio in the Philippines saying, take care always. Amping Permi, from Mr. Congeniality himself. Michael Fazio in the Philippines, baby.